INFJ versus the narcissist. The toxic attraction explained. INFJ versus narcissist. The toxic attraction explained. There is this strange pull between the INFJ and the narcissist. Why do these two even meet? Now, first things first, let's explain who an INFJ is. The INFJ is a personality type from the Myers-Briggs type indicator MBTI. The letters INFJ stand for 4 preferences. I stands for introversion. You gain energy from being alone or in quiet environments. You think before you speak. You prefer deep conversations over small talk. Too much social time can drain you. For example, after a long day with people, you don't want a party, you want silence. The N in INFJ is intuition. You focus on ideas, patterns, and meaning rather than just facts. You read between the lines, you think about the future. You look for deeper purpose. For example, you don't just see a tree, you think about growth, roots, and life. The F in INFJ is feeling. You make decisions based on values and emotions. You care deeply about people. You consider how choices affect others. You value harmony. You choose what feels right, not just what is logical. The J in INFJ is judging. You prefer structure, plans, and closure. You like things organized. You don't enjoy last-minute chaos. You feel better when things are decided. For example, you'd rather have a clear plan than let's see what happens plan. So, in the simple definition of an INFJ is a quiet, thoughtful person who seeks deep meaning, cares about others, and prefers a structured life. So, let's get back to business. The INFJ versus narcissist. The toxic attraction explained. We have a strange pull between these two. There is a quiet mystery in human relationships. Some people meet and build, others meet and burn. The INFJ and the narcissist, they don't just meet. They collide like fate wearing perfume. It feels spiritual, it feels deep, it feels electric. Like two people who say, I have known you before. But sometimes what feels like destiny is just unresolved wounds recognizing each other. Remember, not every connection is meant to heal you. Some are meant to reveal you. So, who is the INFJ? That is the quiet river. The INFJ is like a deep river, calm on the surface, but underneath, currents of emotion, intuition, and insight. The INFJ, they feel deeply. They see beyond words. They want to heal people. They believe in transformation. An INFJ doesn't just love you. They try to understand your soul. The one who sees your darkness and still sits beside you feels like home. But here's the danger. The INFJ believes, if I love you enough, you'll become better. While the narcissist is the shiny mirror, the narcissist is like a mirror that reflects light, but has no depth behind it. At first, the narcissist is charming, confident, magnetic, and attentive. They make you feel special. They make you feel seen, chosen. But slowly you realize the mirror only reflects what it wants to see. A beautiful mask can still hide a hungry wolf. The narcissist doesn't love in the same way. They consume then, but they don't connect. So why is the attraction between a narcissist and a INFJ personality so strong? This is where the magic and the danger begins. The INFJ sees a wounded soul behind the narcissist mask. The narcissist sees a source of endless emotional supply. It is like a healer meeting a storm, a light meeting a void. There is a woman who once said, when I met him, I felt like I was chosen to save him. Years later, she whispered, I was not saving him, I was disappearing. Now, there's this love-bombing phase, the sweet poison. At the beginning of a relationship between a narcissist and an INFJ, the narcissist becomes everything the INFJ dreams of. They text constantly, they speak deeply, they mirror your values, they promise forever. The INFJ thinks, finally someone who understands me. But what is happening? The narcissist is studying you. The narcissist is learning your emotional language. A hunter does not chase without first understanding the path of its prey. The INFJ's fatal belief. INFJs believe that people can change. They believe that love heals everything. The INFJ believe that pain has meaning. These are beautiful beliefs, but in the wrong hands, they become chains. Because the narcissist hears, I will tolerate anything as long as I believe you can improve. So, where is the shift? The shift is when the mask slips. One day something happens, something changes, the warmth cools, the attention fades, the kindness becomes criticism. The INFJ is confused. What happened to the person I met? But here's the truth. That person was a performance. When the show ends, the actor goes home, but the audience is left in the dark. Then we have the emotional roller coaster. Now it begins. The cycle begins. The love changing to coldness, the praise turning to criticism, closeness turns to distance. Now this keeps the INFJ hooked. Why? Because they keep chasing the beginning. The memory of warmth can keep a person freezing for a long time. The INFJ starts overgiving. The INFJ tries harder, more patience, more understanding, more forgiveness. They think, maybe I did something wrong. But the truth is, they are watering a plant that was never alive. The narcissist feeds on depth. The INFJ brings empathy, insight, emotional richness. The narcissist feeds on this. It's like a well that keeps giving water, even when the village burns it. Some people don't drink to be nourished. They drink to empty you. So, gaslighting is war on reality. The narcissist begins to distort reality. They'll tell the INFJ, you're too sensitive. That never happened. You are imagining things. The INFJ starts doubting themselves. And this is dangerous because the INFJ's greatest strength is intuition, which becomes clouded. So when you are made to question your truth, you begin to lose your ground. So why the INFJ stays too long? INFJs don't live quite quickly. They stay because they see potential. They remember the good times. They believe in healing. But sometimes you're not in love with the person. You're in love with their possibility. So let's look at the silent suffering. INFJs rarely shout. They suffer quietly. They smile outside. They break inside like a candle. They still give light while slowly melting away. So what's the breaking point? Every INFJ has a limit. They have a moment where something inside says, enough. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is final. The quietest exit often comes after the loudest internal war. The door slam. When an INFJ is done, they are done. No revenge, no drama, just silence. It confuses the narcissist because the supply is gone. So why does the narcissist come back? After losing the INFJ, the narcissist often returns. Why? Because the INFJ gave deeply. The connection felt intense. They missed the emotional supply. But this return is not love. It is hunger revisiting a full plate. The INFJ after the relationship goes through deep reflection, emotional healing, self-questioning. They ask, how did I miss this? But the truth is, they didn't miss it. They overrode it with compassion. So the lesson hidden in pain is that every painful connection carries a lesson. For the INFJ, boundaries matter. Not everyone deserves depth. Love without respect is self-destruction. A kind heart without boundaries is a door without a lock. So the difference between love and attachment is that love feels safe. Love grows slowly. Love respects you. Toxic attachment feels intense, confuses you, and drains you. The INFJ must learn the difference. So how do you reclaim the self? Healing is not about forgetting. It is about returning to yourself. The INFJ must trust their intuition again, rebuild self-worth, protect their energy. There's a man who once said, I thought I was loving her, but I was abandoning myself. Now that is the turning point. When you choose yourself, the cycle breaks. After healing, the INFJ becomes stronger, clearer, less tolerant of nonsense. Still kind but no longer naive. Wisdom is kindness with boundaries. So why does this pattern exist? This attraction happens because empaths seek meaning, narcissists seek supply. One gives, one takes, until balance is restored through awareness. So what is the final truth? You cannot heal everyone. This is the hardest lesson. You cannot love someone into change. You cannot heal someone who refuses growth. You cannot save someone who benefits from being broken. Not every wounded person wants to heal. Some want to wound others. So what is the closing reflection? The INFJ and the narcissist teach each other something powerful. The narcissist teaches the INFJ boundaries. The INFJ teaches the narcissist that nothing they are willing to keep. Now, in the end, this is not a love story. It is a lesson story. You are not here to fix broken souls. You're not here to carry emotional burdens. You're not here to prove your worth through suffering. You are here to live, to love wisely, to protect your peace. The same heart that makes you vulnerable is the same heart that can make you wise. INFJ is a personality type from the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. The letters INFJ stand for 4 preferences. I is introversion. You gain energy from being alone or in quiet environments. You think before you speak. You prefer deep conversations over small talk. Too much social time can drain you. After a long day with people, you don't want a party, you want silence. The N is intuition. You focus on ideas, patterns, and meaning rather than just facts. You read between the lines. You think about the future. You look for deeper purpose. For example, you don't just see a tree. You think about growth, roots, and life. Then the F is feeling. You make decisions based on values and emotions. You care deeply about people. You consider how choices affect others. You value harmony. You choose what feels right, not just what is logical. Then the J is judging. You prefer structure, plans, and closure. You like things organized. You don't enjoy last-minute chaos. You feel better when things are decided. You would rather have a clear plan than let's see what happens. So what is the simple definition of an INFJ? An INFJ is a quiet, thoughtful person who seeks deep meaning, who cares about others, and prefers a structured life. In a village, there was a woman who did not speak much. But when people came to her, she listened deeply. She understood what they did not say. She gave wise advice. People said she speaks little but sees much. That is an INFJ. The key traits of INFJs is that they are deep thinkers. They are emotionally aware. They are private but caring. They are vision driven. They're often misunderstood. So there's a wise saying that goes that still waters run deep, and that is the spirit of an INFJ. What are the strengths of an INFJ? One is deep understanding of people. INFJs don't just hear words, they read tone, they read silence, they read energy. There's a story of a man who said, "I'm fine." Everyone believed him, but the INFJ said, "No, something is hurting you." And they were right. They see what is hidden. INFJs often just know when something is off. You meet someone, they smile, but something inside you whispers, "Be careful. That voice is really wrong." There's a proverb that says, "The drum sounds before the rain comes." INFJs, they have deep empathy. They feel other people's emotions almost as if they are their own. They comfort deeply. They listen without rushing. They care genuinely. INFJs are not just living, they are searching for meaning. Why am I here? How can I make things better? They are often drawn to teaching, to healing, to guiding others. So when an INFJ loves, they are committed, they are consistent, they are real. There's a wise saying that says, an INFJ does not give you half a heart, they give you the whole one. So what are the weaknesses of an INFJ? Number one is overgiving, that is self-sacrifice. INFJ give time, energy, and emotional support, sometimes too much. A well-kept pouring water into other cups until it ran dry. Then INFJs have difficulty setting boundaries. They feel bad saying no, so they tolerate too much. They stay too long. They forgive too quickly. They also are known for emotional exhaustion. Because INFJ absorb emotions, they can become drained, overwhelmed, and mentally tired. They are also known for idealism. They see potential instead of reality. INFJ don't just see who you are, they see who you could become. This can trap them in unhealthy situations. INFJs can also internalize pain. Instead of expressing anger, they keep it inside. They overthink, they blame themselves. INFJ in relationships. Why is it that they attract narcissists? Why INFJs attract narcissists? INFJs have empathy, they have patience, and they have emotional depth. Narcissists are drawn to this like a thirsty man to a well. So this is a dangerous match between an INFJ and the narcissist. At the beginning, the narcissist says, "You understand me like no one else." The INFJ feels, "Finally, someone who sees me too." It feels magical. Then slowly, the narcissist begins to take more than they give. They begin to manipulate emotions. They begin to create confusion. The INFJ tries harder, gives more, explains more. There's a A candle met the wind. At first, the wind made the flame dance beautifully, but slowly the wind grew stronger until the candle almost went out. So, why INFJs stay too long? They believe people can change. They want to heal others. They ignore red flags. They blame themselves. So, what is the breaking point? When an INFJ reaches their limit, they don't fight. They don't argue. They just disconnect completely and silently and permanently. A door was knocked on many times. It kept opening until one day it closed and never opened again. So, how do you know if you are truly INFJ? You feel different since childhood. You think deeply. You observe more than you speak. You feel older than your age. You crave deep conversations. Small talk drains you. You prefer meaning, purpose, and truth. You need a long time to recharge. Even if you love people, you need space to recover. You understand people easily, but you feel misunderstood. You can read others, but few people truly understand you. You have strong inner values. You don't just follow the crowd. You ask, is this right? You often feel drained by people, especially drama, negativity, emotional chaos. You think in patterns and meaning. You connect things, past, present, future, actions. You look at consequences. As an INFJ, you struggle between logic and emotion. You feel deeply, but also think deeply. This creates inner conflict. So a simple test, a real life check, ask yourself, do I feel deeply but hide it? Do I give more than I receive? Do I see potential in people more than reality? Do I need solitude to feel whole again? If most answers are yes, then you may truly be INFJ. The gift of deep understanding is also the burden of deep feeling. There's a man who carried a lantern at night. It helped others see the path. But sometimes he forgot. He also needed light for himself. That man is the INFJ. Now, why is the attraction so strong between INFJ and the narcissist? When the seer meets the performer, the INFJ sees deeply. The narcissist wants to be seen as special. So what happens? The INFJ says internally, I see your pain. I see your hidden self. The narcissist feels finally someone who understands my greatness. But here's the truth. The INFJ sees the wounded child. The narcissist wants you to worship the false self. And that mismatch becomes a trap. INFJ also have emotional depth. Narcissists have emotional hunger. Alright. Now,